Welcome back to Reviews from the Attic with Edward and Adam. This is Edward.
This is Adam.
And we are
back in the attic.
Back in the attic. We spent some time getting it cleaned up and ready to go for the new year. So for the first episode of the new year, we're going to look at a new version of Battleship by Fanroll Games called Battleship Search and Destroy. This has been unopened, and we're going to do a box opening. Then Edward and I are going to go play it, and then we'll come back and give you our thoughts. All right, Edward, do the honors. Is there one on each side of this?
Yeah.
Super worried. What's the contents on the back of the box say?
32 sea tiles, 10 army dice, 1 helicopter die, and then 2 battleships. With launch pads. What? There's launch pads?
Yeah, you can see it launching there on the back of the box.
Oh, you can.
All right. Safety first. All right, let's dump it out and see what's in. Search and destroy.
Instructions. Then you have, here are the sea tiles they're talking about.
Okay, sea tiles, got it.
I see the sea tiles. And then here are the launching things.
Oh, all right. Launching boats.
Here are the dice.
Some dice, and I'm assuming that's the helicopter
die, probably. And then we have a set of dice for the other player.
So they're not straight up regular dice. It looks like they have some different polyhedrals in there. All right, looks like there's a pretty good box organizer in there as well. All right, and there are the box, and there are the boats. Let's take a look at how to play. All right, so we just put it through its paces. I won, the important part. So Edward, what do you think?
So I think that it's not really Battleship. It's just the Battleship IP and the same theme. It has almost nothing to do with actual Battleship.
No, I can't agree more. You start off, you have 16 of your own tiles. You set them out on a 4x4 grid. And then on your turn, you roll this helicopter recon die, which is a D20, but it doesn't look like a helicopter or anything on it at all makes it look like a helicopter. So why they call it a helicopter recon die, I don't know. So you're trying to roll it on top of the back of one of these, and it's got 2 different outcomes.
And honestly, it's just like a coin.
Yeah, it's a 50-50. So if you get red, it's a tile it lands on. Flip it over.
The placement is random. Because there's groupings, but other than that, it looks like to be a pretty much 50-50 die.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, and so it either lands on red and you get the tile it's on, or it'll land on green and you get the tile it's on or one of the surrounding ones, which does give you better options. You're searching for the subs. So this sub, if it's red, you get 1 die, and you have to set your dice left to right or right to left, whichever, front of the boat to back of the boat, and you have just that front die to try to score this number or higher on a red boat, and then on a yellow boat you get a launch up to 2, and you're trying to hit within the range. So this one you need between a 9 and a 14 to sink it. It only takes 1, so if you get it 1 time, you sink it. Other types of tiles are
Storm, which allows you to shuffle and
mess up the dice order.
And then you have the Open Sea, which is just a blank spot.
Yep, and those just come up. And then the fun thing I do like is, like, as the pieces come up, you have to reshift your C, kind of pushing it together. Mm-hmm. So it does kind of create a memory game. But it is very dexterity based on how well you can roll this die to land on top of where you want it to land.
One thing I want to point out is the red, this one around it, like my dad pointed out, but it doesn't really matter what you roll, because most of the time for us it landed in the middle.
Yeah, in between you
pick which one, but you don't get the color of the color doesn't matter when it lands in the middle, which made it so it wasn't like you never really had to the option to use the color because you always landed in the middle.
Yeah, and the other thing, the dice launching, fun.
Yeah.
But there's too many times you can get a boat with a die that you can't sink. So like in this situation here, if I try to sink this one, it's a red. It means I have to have a 7 or greater. Well, this is just a standard D6, so I know going in I can't possibly sink it. And a failure allows your opponent to look at one of your face down tiles. So you already know you're going to fail, but yet you still got to fail and then let them look at the tile anyway. So, yeah. Production-wise, though, really good thick chipboard.
The artwork is really nice.
Artwork is great. Typical
Fantastic.
Hasbro, or I guess in this case Fanroll. No designer, no artist is listed. This boat, the most tedious thing about this game is the boat, which also is one of the best components of the game. You launch your die, and then you have to move everything up one. And this, especially trying to pick up the D4, is a pain.
It's not that it takes time. It's just annoying to have to go launch.
And so I think Edward had a good idea. Is also just to have like a cooldown spot, so you can't use the same die 2 times in a row. But you know that would mean then you could eliminate all this of the boat. A lot smaller boat. Launch, cooldown, launch, cooldown. But all in all, for $24.95 or whatever I paid for it, I gotta be honest, not really worth it.
$24.95. I feel like I would pay $20 or less. 20 would be the max.
Yeah, it's fun. It's not Battleship, but it does fit the Battleship IP. It just doesn't feel like you're playing Battleship, which isn't necessarily bad. But if you're looking for another Battleship themed game, I recommend the 1973 Subsearch, which you'll have to find on eBay or a consignment shop. Super fun, 3D almost, because you gotta launch at depths, so that's fun. Yeah. And then what's the other one we just played? Battleship Royale. Good job on that one. We just played Battleship Royale, which is super cool. Plays up to 2 to 6 players, and you're all playing off a single board in the middle, trying to find everybody else's boat while you have your boats hidden over here.
It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun with 4 players. Super great. Maybe we'll do a video on that one later. But as usual, you can reach out to us facebook.com/eatlunchandboardgame. Visit our website, eatlunchandboardgame.com. Or you can always email us, eatlunchandboardgame@gmail.com. And remember,
board games build bridges.